My phone wouldn't stop lighting up. It buzzed against the wooden nightstand like a trapped insect. The screen glowing cold blue in the dark of my tiny Mission District apartment. Naomi's name flashed again, third call in under a minute. And I just sat there on the edge of the bed, knees drawn up, staring at it until the vibration died. The rain hammered the window pane outside, steady and unforgiving. The kind that makes the whole city smell like wet concrete and eucalyptus. How many times had I waited for her to call like this before? Too many. When I finally decided I was done, she was the one unraveling. I hadn't answered in 6 days. Not a text. Not even the frantic voice memos she kept leaving at 2 in the morning. My chest felt tight just thinking about her voice cracking on the last one. Raw and broken. Asking where I was. Why I'd vanished. Part of me wanted to laugh at the irony. She was the one who'd thrown me away like a toy she'd gotten bored with. Now she couldn't reach me. And it was driving her out of her mind. I exhaled slowly. The sound lost under the rain. And closed my eyes. The memory of her perfume, vanilla and sharp citrus, still clung to the hoodie I hadn't washed yet. God. It had started so quietly. 8 months earlier. In that little indie bookstore on Valencia Street. I was Zoe. Scraping by on freelance writing gigs. And weekend shifts at a coffee shop that smelled perpetually of burnt espresso and rain-soaked coats. Naomi walked in during a downpour, shaking droplets from her dark wavy hair. Designer trench coat damp at the shoulders. She was 31, sharp cheekbones, tailored blazer. The kind of woman who looked like she ran meetings and closed deals before breakfast. Our eyes met over the new releases table. She smiled, just a small, tired curve of her lips, and asked if I knew anything about the poetry collection she was holding. I did. Ocean Vaughn. And the way certain lines felt like they punched you in the sternum. When she left.
We should definitely grab coffee sometime.
No big moment. Just a quiet, we should grab coffee sometime. The first coffee was at a tiny place off 24th Street. The kind with mismatched chairs and a barista who played lo-fi on low volume. Naomi showed up late, apologizing with a half smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. She ordered black.
Get a black coffee, no sugar.
No sugar. I watched her long fingers wrap around the mug.
Relaxed I've been all week.
The way her shoulders relaxed by inches as we talked about nothing. And everything, her brutal work schedule at the tech firm downtown. My half-finished novel gathering dust on my laptop. She listened like the world outside the window didn't exist.
It means a lot that you're listening.
For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was performing. I just was.
I guess this is it for now.
When we parted on the sidewalk.
Take care.
The fog curling around the streetlights. Her hand brushed mine. Neither of us pulled away immediately. The touch lingered, warm against the chill air. And I felt something shift inside me like a lock clicking open. Weeks blurred into micro moments that built like slow pressure before a storm. We'd meet after her late meetings, walking along the Embarcadero while the Bay Bridge lights glittered on the black water. She'd bump my shoulder on purpose, a teasing nudge, and I'd laugh under my breath. One night, closed pier. The salt wind whipping our hair. She reached out and tucked a stray strand behind my ear. Her fingertips grazed my cheek, and my breath caught. "You're easy to be around, Zoe," she murmured, voice low. I didn't answer. I just let the moment stretch. The distant foghorn moaning somewhere out on the bay.
The
Tension
teens are
crept in small,
integrating well, but there's always...
almost invisible
Hold on.
ways.
What is it?
Her phone would buzz mid-conversation. Work. Always work. And she'd glance at it, jaw tightening for a split second before silencing it. I'd feel that tiny sting, like I was seconds on a timer.
We agreed on the timeline.
But then she'd turn back to me, eyes softening, and the sting would fade. We started texting late into the night. She'd send voice notes when she couldn't sleep, her voice husky from exhaustion, telling me about the pressure of her latest pitch. I'd reply with paragraphs about the characters in my book, how they felt more real than most people I knew. One night she called instead of texting. "I don't do this," she said quietly. "Talk to someone like this." I heard her exhale,
Are you okay?
long and shaky.
What's wrong?
Neither of us hung up for an hour. The night
That
everything
smells
tilted
incredible.
closer happened in
Is it
my
ready yet?
apartment.
Almost. Just
We'd
wait.
cooked pasta together, nothing fancy. Just garlic and whatever was in the fridge. And ended up on my worn couch, legs tangled under a shared blanket. The city lights bled through the blinds in soft orange stripes across the walls. Naomi was quieter than usual, tracing idle circles on my knee with her thumb. I could smell the faint citrus of her skin, feel the steady rise and fall of her breathing. "I don't trust anyone," I whispered into the quiet, the words slipping out before I could stop them. They hung there between us.
I believe you're here.
She stopped tracing. Her hand moved up to cup my face,
I'm not going anywhere.
thumb brushing my cheekbone. "Good," she said,
Good. Because I don't
voice
either.
rough.
I am.
"Because I don't either. But with you it's different." I want it to be different. The air thickened. I leaned in first. Or maybe she did. Our foreheads touched. Then our lips, soft, tentative. Relief. The kiss deepened slowly, her fingers threading into my hair, my hands finding the curve of her waist. When we pulled back, both breathing harder, she rested her forehead against mine again. No words, just the sound of rain starting outside and our heartbeats sinking. After that, it. Stolen pieces. Mornings where she'd show up with coffee and a crooked smile, still in her work clothes from the night before. Afternoons tangled in my sheets, her laughter low and surprised when I traced the freckles on her shoulder. She opened up in fragments, about her conservative family back in Chicago who still didn't know the full truth. About the way her job demanded she be professional, in ways that sometimes meant hiding pieces of herself. I told her about my own walls, the acts who had left me feeling disposable.
I understand.
We fit together like two jagged things that somehow locked. But the micro-tensions never fully left.
This client meeting just won't end.
She'd cancel plans last minute for a client dinner. She'd kiss me hard in the doorway and then check her watch.
Perfect. Let's discuss the next steps.
I started noticing how she never introduced me to her colleagues. How her hand would slip from mine if someone we knew walked by on the street. The first real crack came 3 months in. We were at a quiet bar in Hayes Valley.
We can't avoid it anymore.
Dim lights and jazz humming in the background. She'd had 2 glasses of wine, her cheeks flushed.
They're talking about
promoting me, she said, staring into her glass. Big one.
Amazing, Naomi.
I smiled. Genuine. Naomi. She nodded. But her eyes flicked away. It means more travel.
More visibility.
More visibility. Her voice dropped.
I just need to keep things
low-key for a while. You understand, right?
Said he wanted to keep it
I did.
low-key.
Or I thought I did. But the word low-key sat heavy in my stomach like cold coffee. Still. Died under the neon sign. Her lips urgent against mine. I let it go. The kiss tasted like apology and want all at once. Summer slipped into fall. Our connection deepened even as the cracks widened. She'd show up at my place after brutal days. Collapse into my arms. And let me hold her while she cried quietly about the pressure. I'd make her tea. The steam curling between us. And she'd whisper how no one else saw her like I did. The sex became slower. More intentional, her hands mapping my body like she was memorizing it. My name on her lips like a secret she was afraid to lose. One night, she traced the line of my collarbone and said, "You make me feel safe." Zoe. I didn't know I needed that. I believed her.
Just like we always do.
God.
I know, I trust you.
Then came the night she threw me away. It was a Tuesday.
I am so sorry.
Rain
I'm
again.
late. The traffic was awful.
To forget the weather.
Hey, don't worry, come here. We need
She
to talk about
arrived
what happened
late.
Tuesday.
Coat
I already
dripping.
told you everything I know.
We stood in my
I
kitchen.
got the promotion.
The fluorescent light harsh on her face. I got the promotion, she said.
The
Her
old
voice
school
was flat.
team and the conservative investors.
But the team, they're old school.
I can't risk rumors.
Conservative investors. I can't risk any rumors right now. It's been amazing.
But I need
to focus. I think we should cool it. She wouldn't meet my eyes. I felt the words land like stones in my chest.
Cool it.
Cool it, I repeated. Voice cracking. She reached for my hand but I pulled back.
Zoe, please.
Zoe.
It's not forever.
It's not forever. Just until things settle. I stared at her. The woman who had held me like I was everything. Now looking at me like I was an inconvenience. You used me, I said quietly.
Like a
toy when you needed comfort. She flinched. That's not fair. But she didn't deny it. She left without another word. The door clicking shut behind her like a period at the end of a sentence I wasn't ready to write. I didn't cry that night. I just sat on the floor. Back against the fridge. The cold seeping through my shirt. And listened to the rain. The next morning I changed my number. Blocked her on everything. Packed away the hoodie that still smelled like her. I threw myself into my writing. Into long runs along the waterfront where the wind off the bay stung my face raw. Friends asked what happened. I shrugged. She needed space. Inside. Nights where I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed. The empty space mocking me. 6 days later. The calls started. At first I thought it was spam. Then the voicemails came. Zoe.
Zoe. It's me.
Please pick up. Her
Please
voice
pick
was
up.
hoarse. Like she hadn't slept. Another one at 3 a.m. I can't stop thinking about you.
Where are you? I went to the coffee
You weren't
shop.
there.
You weren't there.
I listened to them
I don't know
all.
what to do.
Curled under my
The storm
blanket.
is getting worse and they won't let us
Heart
leave.
hammering so loud I could hear it over the rain. She showed up at my building once. I watched from the window as she paced the sidewalk below. Coat collar up. Hair plastered to her face. She banged on the buzzer for 10 minutes straight before a neighbor yelled at her.
Hey, stop that racket
The
right
sound of her
Doing this to
voice,
me. You can't just ignore me,
raw
Zoe.
and desperate,
I need your help. Please,
echoed up the
Zoe.
stairwell.
Zoe,
Zoe.
I'm losing my mind here. I fucked up. I know
I fucked up.
did.
I know I did. The confrontation happened on a Thursday night. The fog so thick it swallowed the streetlights. I'd finally agreed to meet her at the same bookstore where we'd first spoken.
Hey, I'm so
Neutral
glad you made it.
ground. She was already there when I walked in. Pacing between the shelves. Eyes red-rimmed. The moment she saw me her face crumpled. Zoe.
Zoe?
She stepped forward like she wanted to pull me into her arms. But I held up a hand. We stood there in the narrow
You can't
aisle.
go in there. Why not?
The smell of old
What's
paper
wrong?
and dust heavy around us. She looked smaller somehow.
I threw you away.
The confident executive gone. I threw you away, she said. Voice breaking. I was
so
scared.
about the job.
My job, my
and
family. Everything.
Sometimes
I
it
treated
feels
you
like
like something I
everyone
could
treats me
control
like
and then
I'm
discard when it got
disposable.
real. But when you disappeared I realized you were the only thing holding me together. Tears slipped down her cheeks. She didn't wipe them. I love you.
Sorry it took losing you to see it.
I'm sorry it took losing you to see it. My chest ached so badly I could barely breathe. The bookstore lights hummed overhead, casting long shadows across her face. I wanted nothing more than to step into her arms, to let her kiss me until the hurt dissolved. But something deeper held me back, the version of myself I'd been rebuilding these past weeks. The one who refused to be anyone's emotional safety net again. I love you too, I whispered. The words tasting like salt.
But I can't
be your toy anymore. Naomi. I can't keep waiting for the next time you decide I don't fit your world. She reached for me then, fingers brushing my wrist. And for a second I let her. The touch was warm, familiar. But I gently pulled away.
Probably catch up with the others.
I have to choose me this time. My writing.
Choose me this time. My writing.
Even if it means walking away from this. She didn't fight
Even
me.
if it means walking away from this.
She just nodded. Lips pressed tight. Like she was trying not to shatter. We stood there in the quiet aisle. The distant sound of a cash register dinging somewhere in the front. I leaned in one last time, pressed a soft kiss to her forehead. Breathing in that citrus vanilla scent I'd never forget. Take care of yourself, I said. Then I turned and walked out into the fog. The bell above the door chiming behind me like a final, gentle goodbye. It's been 2 months now. I still see her name sometimes. Her company made headlines with the big launch. She looks polished in the photos. The same sharp smile. I wonder if she's okay. I wonder if she still wakes up reaching for someone who isn't there. Me. It's not perfect. but it's mine. Some nights the rain still sounds like her voice on those voicemails. And I let myself feel it, the ache, the love, the choice. Life in this city doesn't tie things up neatly. It just keeps moving. Fog rolling in. Rain falling. Hearts beating through it all. And somehow,